Hey, Naima. How are you? Yes, we are in here. What's up? Oh, got on my other device there. Hey, sis, how have you been? I know it's getting cold around your neck of the woods, I'm sure. What are you cooking for the holiday tomorrow? I can't believe it. I promise you, it just seemed like a couple of months ago. We were doing this. We were, you know, Thanksgiving this year has flown. When I say flown, it has flown by. It has literally flown by. But yeah, what are you cooking for tomorrow? I'm in here to rant today. I gotta be 100% honest. And it's amazing that the universe knows what you need and when you need it because up in my recommended, it says how to stay calm when triggered, and I definitely have gotten triggered. I'm not going to talk about it here because, as you all know, y'all get my life, but you can't have all of my life. So, but it's something that's happening in my personal life that has gotten me triggered. But I also, I've been on one literally since this morning. I got riled up a little bit with listening to that Art Kathy, who is another YouTuber that I follow. She, our content creator that I follow, that's also local here to the A. She had a wonderful breakdown. Hey, Coach Malik. Y'all, I gotta highlight my people in here. Welcome. Coach Malik, I be, checking in on your TikTok. I'm loving it. I can't wait to be building my little worm beds too. And I also saw your last post about the gentleman kind of making you feel unsafe. Since I've been there, I definitely have been there. And you know what? Let me tell you, and I never revealed this on here, but my home was it was an attempted break-in in my townhome months ago, like the start of the summer. The gentleman was arrested, and it was like very interesting because when the cops came, he seemed to have sobered up enough to say that he was drunk, but he was at my door and windows for a whole hour, and he could seems like he couldn't understand that I was telling him to leave. But when the cops came, he seemed to sober up enough to tell him that he was drunk, which is interesting. But what was really scary about that situation was that at the time I was kind of like, talking to someone. And I don't really like that phrase, y'all. I'm really not into that phrase. But um drop link for what? Yeah, you can drop your link. Drop your link for TikTok. You can drop it. You know you can. Um but yeah, I was kind of talking to someone at the time. He was actually a patron at the barbershop when I was doing the cafe outside of the barbershop. He was a patron at the barbershop, and he and I had started, building up a little conversation, a little talking to. And when I called him, and I was still shaken up when I called him, and it happened on a Sunday morning. Happened on a Sunday morning, and I called him, as I was getting prepared for the oh, StreamYard. Yes. You want to come up? Okay. We will do that. Um, I don't usually drop the link for StreamYard. It's usually, when I have a guest on, I'll do it. Or I'm supposed to have a guest on. But I am doing my little rant. So I definitely will open up the avenue for anybody that wants to chime in with their rant as well. But yeah, I usually don't drop the link. But um so I called him, when I had gathered myself and I was on my way to the other cafe location in East Point and was just telling him what happened and whatnot. And he was like, "Oh, that's not no big deal." Like he really downplayed it. And I appreciate that your husband was, on point. I appreciate that your husband was on point. And this was not, of course, my husband, and this was not even someone that I was like, seriously seeing. This was someone that had just like literally met probably like 2 weeks prior, and we've been talking on the phone pretty consistently. We hadn't gone out or anything. Uh, he hadn't even purchased any food outside of the barbershop. But I tell you, after that conversation, I wasn't interested in anything serious because I was just like, just the fact that he just really just blew it off. Like that just never sat well with me. It really, really did. And I was like, he was just like, oh, okay. And I was like, no, I said it was weird because, when I was trying to plead with him for him to leave, it was like, he was still trying. He was still trying to get in. But when the cops came, he was like, oh, I'm drunk. And I used to see this girl that used to live here. And he knew I was not the girl because he was like a Hispanic gentleman. He was talking Spanish. And when he had first started to, because it was like very early. It was very early on Sunday morning. He was rattling the door, and I just clearly thought because literally a week prior, someone had done the same thing, and they lived next door. Like they were, like I said, these are townhomes, but they're all, the front, the exterior, all look alike, but it's in like a compound or what have you, a complex, and they had literally the girl's brother had just moved in next door. And so it was like literally the week prior to this happening where he was jiggling the door. I swung it open and he was like, oh, apologies, I'm sorry. And he went right next door. So I thought it was one of those type of situations. Um, because the person was jiggling the door. I didn't know for how long because I'm a pretty light sleeper, but it was like I said, it was early as Sunday morning, maybe about 6 o'clock, 6, 7 o'clock. Um, it was definitely about 6 o'clock. It wasn't seven. Um, and so I heard the knob. I heard the doorknob rattling, and I listened for a couple of minutes because right, yes, 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 that is so true. That is so true. I'm gonna pin that. So I was like, thinking that okay, um, the person was there for a minute, like, because I just like, sat up, propped up on my pillow and just like listen, and I'm like, maybe they'll figure it out because it was really early, and I was like, I don't feel like swinging this door open. So this persisted for maybe about 15, 20 minutes. And finally, I just went down and I swung the door open. And let me tell you, this dude looked straight in my face, and he said, "Who is he?" And I was like, "Who is who? I don't even know you." And I was like, "This is the wrong house. This is the wrong house." And he said, "I know he's in there. Who is this? Who is he?" And so I slammed the door in his face. He tried to stick his like, tried to put his hand out, and I slammed it back on his hand and locked the door. And then he went over to the window. He actually went over to the window and he was like, trying to figure out how to get. So some of these townhomes, they have like the screens that like pop out. Mine doesn't have a screen that pop out. Mine just has like it's glass. It's the window, and then it's like behind the window is the actual window slide up. So it's not like a pop out screen. So then he walked around. He walked around, tried to walk around because uh like I said, my townhome is like in the middle, it's not on the edge. So he was walking around, and I guess because I thought he had left. I thought he had left. My back blinds were closed or what have you. I thought he had left. So I went back upstairs. But no, well, he was around to the back. He was around to the back. And then he walked back to the front. And he was still steady on the knobs, pushing, pushing, putting his shoulder to it, pushing. And at this point in time, my kids woke up. And so, that I called the cops. Um, my daughter was yelling down, leave, please leave. She was yelling down from the upstairs window. And I was afraid because I didn't want him to know that I had like kids in there because clearly he only saw me. And now with just seeing kids, I didn't want him to put two and two together that, it was just a woman with children in here. It was no, male in here. Um, So that's when I called the cops. So this had gone on, like I said, for about an hour before I called the cops, honestly. And when I look at all of these, um, Dateline and Nightline, um, and these 2020 specials, I'm like, dang, I shouldn't have even have waited that long. But I just really thought he was just going to go away. I did. And so the cops came, and like I said, it was just amazing how, he sobered right up. And I tell you what also was very interested. So I stay in my complex. It's mostly like Latin people. I have like maybe like three or four black neighbors, but it's like mostly Latino. And the Latino people were coming out. They were going to their work or going to church because, like I said, it was Sunday morning. Nobody stopped to, inquire what was going on with their brethren, and that that really that did something for me that, like I said, I hadn't thought of that because in Miami, obviously, where I was just came from, they are very much stick together-ish, but that was not here. They were like, I don't know what he got going on, but they don't wanted no parts of it. And I saw them looking, they were looking as he was being arrested, as they were, the cops were shaking down in his pockets, and they were, they were, taking out his ID, and really, giving him, like, they weren't like beating him or nothing, but uh they were definitely aggressively interrogating him. And people came out, they saw, they looked, they just went about their business. Nobody intervened, nobody said, hey, he this so and so, because like the people from next door did eventually come out. And I thought that would have been also a key point in time, because the people next door, they've been here for years. So they would have known who the couple was, or who the woman was, the girl was that he was referring to. They offered no type of um information or intervention. They were just like, whatever comes to him comes to him. And so that's when I kind of realized too that this was a very highly immigrant community. So hey, Africa, I see you. I appreciate you, Mr. Africa. Um, so yeah. So I just say that to say, this in the, like I said, with the energy, what's going on right now, we're talking about um uh the Ahmad Arbery verdict, that's going on right now. But also, like I said, this stemmed from me watching um Art Cathy's rundown on the conscious community and its men. And she was just basically saying that it's like a real joke. Like, these men are not, they talking about, oh, they gonna offer protection, but they not, but they ain't. Okay. And this gentleman was just so wholly like, oh yeah, yeah, okay, like he wasn't like, oh, are you all right, or do you want me to come by, because he lives close, he has a home up the street. And but it was none of that. It was just the, oh, that dude sound crazy, that's just crazy. And I'm like, nah, like, don't, like, why are you doing that? Why are you dismissing this? Like, this is just, oh, just something crazy. Like, you know, and especially, like I said, especially the fact that I have children, it was just really kind of no regard. You said you got this. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So we also want to send condolences out to the Malcolm X tribe. They just lost one of the twin girls. I'm like, y'all, let me tell y'all, I'm not the person, I do not like being the, oh, I left him alone immediately. Sis, you must have missed that in the, something must have gone wrong with the mic or something, but I said that, like, after that call, I didn't talk to that guy again. I literally didn't. I literally didn't. There was never any other phone call from me to that guy again. Like, you know what? That's something about me that I can say, and I'm not going to say all the time it's been, um I'm not going to say I'm proud of it, but I cut people off pretty easily. I cut people off pretty easily, and that was before the whole red flag movement happened. Red flag movement. But I immediately saw. I was just like, oh heck no. He was just so like just too unbothered by the fact that someone that he's expressed some interest in, almost had a home invasion, and it's a single mother with children. Like it was no regard for that at all. He was just like, oh, it's that's probably nothing. Yeah, he just drunk. He was just drunk, and I'm like, maybe he wasn't just drunk. Like maybe this dude was just pretending and looking for an opportunity. Because when I went to close this door, he put his hand out. And I had to double up on that strength to get the door closed and get it locked up. It might have started as okay, I'm just wandering around out here, but it definitely he didn't do this to any other home you know. So I like I said, and this is amazing to me how he just really sobered up when the cops came. He sobered up enough to tell them that he was drunk. Where they do that at? Where they do that at? So if you guys haven't seen it, definitely take a look at Art Cathy. That is ARTCATHEY. It was called, I believe, entitlement issues with our community, and it was a great read. Sis went in. It was a great read, and she pulled no punches, and she told no lies. Like this is honestly the way it goes down in our community. Like they want us fearing each other while they're being complicit to the system. Like they ain't trying to build nothing. They just, but they want us to, oh, listen to me and it's dangerous out here and this is that. But what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? And so, like I say, the fact that he wasn't even like, well, you want me to come over? Are you okay? Or, it was not like that. Just immediately he was like, oh, that's crazy. Oh, yeah, he probably was drunk. And I was like, that's what he said, but he wasn't saying that for that hour before, the cops came. And he was like, and he was always, that was another thing too, he was always over talking me. He was often over talking me. And this was another situation. He was just like, yeah, well, he's probably drunk. Oh, well, I guess you're okay now. You can go back to sleep. Like that's really what he said. That's really what he said. And I was like, I have to get going for the cafe. And I'm like, I'm a little worried with even leaving my place, like, because now it just seems to me like they know too much information. Like, somebody could literally like that might have been a decoy. They could have been watching to see, okay, well, who all is up in there. So I didn't even want to go to the cafe. And Sundays were my money makers. Saturdays were like kind of like, just me getting out in because it was right here in my neighborhood. But Sundays were my money maker. And I was even feeling like, and I remember that also happened the weekend after I had had a really good weekend. I believe it was I want to say it was after 4th of July weekend. So the previous weekend, I had made a significant amount of money, and I actually didn't have to go back to the cafe for the next like 2 weeks if I didn't want to, or in that's what I was feeling. I was feeling like, well, dang, should I even be going back to the cafe today? So it was amazing that that happened when it did, and then I was furthermore like, maybe I shouldn't because at this point it was just kind of feeling like, okay, it might just be less like greedy. Maybe I am supposed to sit still for a minute because this situation was something that definitely could have been, like I said, I just was thinking a lot of different ways that this information or that could have been a setup. And I really had no recourse for the setup, you know. And another thing that I did literally that next weekend, I reached out to someone who does gun training. And I was like, I want to sign up. I never went. Um, I never ended up going, but that was the first time I had ever made a call like that. I had gotten offers and I had followed up, and y'all know Brother Bakari also, who is a content creator, a local content creator here. He teaches women how to shoot as well, and he came over for an event, and he, brought some weapons and just to get a feel of it and everything. Like I didn't do any shooting, but I got to get a feel of it, got to cock it, got to load bullets, that sort of thing, but I didn't do any shooting. Um, but this was I signed up for um, a particular trip out to the range, and I ended up not going. That next weekend, actually, I ended up stopping that contract with the barbershop, and so I was getting, some other things in order, and I had gotten booked on another date that Saturday, so that's what I ended up doing instead. But excuse me, yo. I digress. Want to know what everybody is cooking for tomorrow? Yeah, we should do that. I'm gonna drop the link. We should definitely do that. I want to have a little conversation about this time of year and gathering with family. What are some tips that we can provide one another to make things go smoothly over the holidays? I love when Saturday Night Live does these little parodies of like, Thanksgiving, Christmas shopping, Thanksgiving dinners, family gatherings. This is like I live for this time of the year because they have some of the real like on point spoofs, but just told in such a comical way. You just have to appreciate it. And I did vote today. If y'all have not voted, it is the last day to early vote. If you are in a city or a community that is having a runoff, it is the last day to early vote. So you want to make sure you do that. And y'all know the runoff dates are November 30th, which of course is coming up next Tuesday. But today was the last day to early vote. So, well, check your locals because today was early vote. But I live in a small community. Oh, sorry, excuse me. Y'all, yes, it has been very early mornings these last couple of mornings. So y'all know that I produce The Situation. If you all have not subscribed to that channel yet, please make sure you do. The channel is The Trap Pastor. But I produce that show, and we have not had shows all this week. No, we didn't have shows after Monday. We had shows Tuesday, and I'm sorry, we had show on Monday, but no shows Tuesday and no show today. So here I am thinking, okay, I'm gonna sleep in. I slept in yesterday, and it was beautiful. I slept in yesterday like a baby, but Monday was was a full day because literally right after the show wrapped, we headed up to the village. Y'all know what my village plans. And if you haven't seen the latest video about the village, hey Diamond Princess, you like my shirt? Yes. All members of in the media group got these last year. All members of the executive committee, I'm sorry, got these last year. Are you had to purchase them. So but these were actually designed exclusively by Amir Creative in time for actual Claim Malcolm X Day, which is May 19th. So I'm doing my due diligence and rocking my X gear, putting them X's up. So there are no more, but we do have these in, y'all. If you have not yet become a these are 2022 calendars, and as y'all can see, January is about voter suppression. So this is a really dope calendar. If you have not yet become a member of coloredonlycafe.com, if you do so today during this broadcast, um, you can just you can email me proof that you've become a member, and I will mail you this calendar. You can just You can send me proof of your payment. Right now, the only thing they accept is PayPal. If you do not have PayPal but you want to become a member, if you send me, if you send me, if you send me $7, if you send me $7 Cash App, I will start your account for you and send you a link, and you get the calendar. So that's just for this broadcast, you guys. So for this broadcast right now, today, if you cash app $7, I'll start you a membership with coloredonlycafe.com. You just need to send me an email and it's the cash app of 7. Yes, I have cash app. Let me put my cash app link up here. You know I have Cash App, and you all know also Cash App. All of my handles and profiles are in the About tab on my page. So everything is up there as far as here you go. Everything is up there as far as my social media handles, the website, of course, and my Cash App. My Cash App, my PayPal, I believe, is also up there, and also my link if you want to, uh, if you ever want to do, because that's not Zelle right now, but if you ever want to do the a Square payment where you can charge it one time to your credit card or what have you, that link is through there as well. It's through my website, but members only, members only. Today only. If you become a member of the channel, and that is, or if you become a member of my website, which is coloredonlycafe.com, coloredonlycafe.com, I will mail you out. Just send me the proof of it and send me your address, and I will mail you out a 2022 calendar. This is, as you guys can see, A History of Racial Injustice. This is put on by the EJI. These calendars are also for sale in my cafe. Look at there. June is 1619. Okay. Oh, perfect. Why can't we see you? Got a Cash App in. Send me your address. You know I'll send that right on over to you. You know I will, sis. That is crazy. We have to really get that figured out. I do not like that at all. When I tell you at all, at all. Yep, but send me your address. I'll send you right on out. Thank you. And I will send you a link. No, they do want to be seen, Snuggles. We've had this conversation several times. They want to be seen. We've tried to figure it out. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on, but we have to figure it out. Uh yes. But yes, that is the Cash App. And yeah. today only, and become a member of coloredonlycafe.com, and you will be getting exclusive exclusive info and content. Okay. So moving right along. Moving right along. Y'all, I don't know why. Don't get me wrong, y'all. Don't get me wrong. Um, I am very protective of my time. It's your internet that gets getting stuck. You might either have to get faster internet speed or change the apparatus you use. What do you mean? Um, that keeps on getting stuck? It's no, I'm watching myself. Like I have another device where I'm watching myself. I'm not getting stuck. That's you. Because you do the most real complaint. Like you do the most complaining about my internet and this and that, bruh, bruh. I don't know. I don't know. I'm watching myself on another. I'm watching myself on other devices, and I'm not stuck. Like I said, it might be you. It might be you. This whole time you be thinking of me. It might be you. But anyway, moving right along. So if I get stuck, that's probably a message you weren't supposed to hear. That's okay. But moving right along, I've been on this for the past couple of days because I'm really, really trying to unpack and figure some things out, y'all. Uh, this this whole conversation that the baby and Danny Lay have created. I need my sign. It would be memorabilia when you blow up. Ah, thank you. Oh, it's definitely you, Snuggles, and that confirms that's why it's you. That's why you. That's why it's you. And blame it on the white man. Stop trolling. That plenty can be, plenty can be. But since a black person created the internet, that would have to go back to somebody black. No, I think it just might be, I don't know, it just might be your connection with my it might be your connection because like I said, I'm pretty solid over here now, you know. I have a great solid connection. If anything, my mic sometimes goes out. When my mic goes out, I come in from my phone. But, you know, like I said, and we'll continue to say that I don't have the real like I'm doing real stuff with, with a lot of my money. And my honestly my investment is not just to sit in front of the sit in front of the screen all day to make this type of content. So it's just not, I put it in my real live cafe business. I put it in my real live real estate opportunity that I'm closing on. So I don't uh I don't just be like, well, let me go up and get all this new equipment. It'd be cute to have. No lie. It'd be cute to have. And now, I do have access to a studio, but the studio is uh it's a bit of a ways away from me. So we are working on 1 day a week literally next year that I'll be um at the studio. But what I would prefer is that once I have everything squared away with the village, I will broadcast through their network, but I would just be getting my own cameras and all, and I'll just have that at the studio or at the village rather. So, originally I definitely thought, okay, 1 day a week I could definitely do this. I think we were not even think, but we were going to be doing it MX Media Monday, but y'all, I've gotten very comfortable with my time, and you know, very used to my schedule being flexible around here in my neck of the woods. What else do I have access to? Um, the good book, the Bible, absolutely. Absolutely. You're so funny. Yes, but sis, make sure you send your email. Now you said that Miss Africa, when you get back to the States, okay, when you get back to the States, this, of course you could always become a member, but I won't have any more calendars left. Let me tell y'all, these calendars don't I'm never able to keep them in stock. I did the calendars last year at one point in time. I think I did 50 in one day. Like I'm never able to keep them in stock. So I can definitely send you the link where you can order them offline, and they aren't more expensive. Um, they're about the same price to order offline, and you can always become a member, but you won't be able to become a member and get a calendar, when you get back into the States. Um, that's something I'm literally just doing today. I just got my calendar order in, and I'm literally just doing that today. And like I said, when these go, and there aren't a lot of them left, when these finish going, the next set that I do, they'll have to be paid outright. And if people want me to mail them to you, they're gonna have an additional fee because yeah, I'm not next order I have to purchase. This order I'm getting for free. Sir Anthony. Wow. Wow, Sir Anthony, I love that you're here today because I'm doing a little rant. I'm doing a little rant today. Ah, thank you so much. Sent a double order. You better. I appreciate you. I appreciate you, sis. And I'm so mad that we can't see one another. That doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense. But thank you so much. And I will be mailing that out to you. I won't be able to mail it out tomorrow because it's closed. Post office is closed. But I will do it Friday. I surely will. I'll be mailing that out to you on Friday. Perfect. So she's basically talking to herself about what we don't know. So right now I'm rubbing my Birdman hands together and see what else she got access to. I'm talking to myself about what we don't know. Snuggles, don't get blocked. Cause me and you, we go way back. Me and Mariah go back like baby the pacifier. Oh, speaking of which, guys, I'm gonna be very honest. I am looking very much forward to seeing "Marry Me" with Jennifer Lopez and Owen Wilson on Valentine's Day. That said, I'm in love with the song. I think that she has really gotten comfortable with the fact that she doesn't have the best singing voice, and I am, excuse me, y'all. I am very much looking forward to all of that goodness. Um, all of that goodness. So I plan on seeing it. I don't know if I'll just be seeing it with my daughter. um, our anti-landlord. I'm just watching for sidelines. Oh no, all of my rants are not. Yes, the song is really beautiful. On my way to you. On my way to you. You know what it kind of reminds me of too? Take a listen to We Are Shepherd. There's a group that did Say Geronimo. Remember a couple of years ago? The song was hot. Now say Geronimo, say Geronimo. They have a song that's similar. I really want to think because Jennifer Lopez works good with getting some great songwriters in her midst. I wouldn't be surprised the if some of the members actually wrote that because they write really good songs, and they have a song that's very similar, On My Way. It's not called On My Way, but that's the melody. That's the melody. All of my rants these days are anti-landlord. I'm just watching the sidelines. Well, I mean, if I understand that may bother you, but like I said, there's too few of us that own and rent property for me to be concerned with the few of us that do. I just don't have those type of problems. I don't have those type of problems, so I'm going to be I'm going to side with I'm not going to be I uh have no like qualms or no I have no apathy for a system that oppresses. And that's what it does. We rent was created because we wanted to be, we had to be held responsible and indebted to the land, and you know it had to be a situation where we were forced to pay to live. you know so it's like, other people can be, allowed and extended these opportunities for free shelter, or for shelter bargaining and that sort of thing. But just historically and systemically and categorically, Black people have been made to, not only do we pay more than any other demographic to rent the same spaces, but we also, um, the majority of us do pay rent, where that's not the case for any other demographic. So a lot of my rants are because, again, I'm just trying to divinely align with people that share this same type of energy, with figuring out how to make this system something that is going to be for our advantage and not our disadvantage, and not so oppressive. When you've done the type of work that I've done, I think that you might be a little bit more impartial. When you see what the numbers really look like, when evictions are being discussed, we're not just talking about, like I said, not facing eviction. I faced an eviction, and I've never done a drug. I was abstaining, so it wasn't like I was, it had some no good. Da, 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 da. I know what the generalizations are when it comes to people that pay rent. Um, right, right. Yes, the rent in small towns is not little. Wow, wow. Right. You have thick skin in these streets. Well, thank you, Sir Anthony. But I do miss you. I do miss you. And like I said, that's not the only thing I talk about, but that's just prevalent right now because, like what we're dealing with is, there will be a massive amount of evictions waving out over the next couple of months. And I know that in the midst of those evictions, it's going to be women, Black women, it's going to be children, and it's going to be a system waiting to exploit those children once those evictions do wave out. There are foster homes that immediately begin with, brutalizing our children, our youth. These shelters, they are, you know, these shelters are not what they paint them out to be, as far as, just really wholesome kind of living opportunities to help you get on your feet, to get a voucher to stay somewhere for free. I mean, not stay somewhere for free, but stay somewhere for what they call for uh reduced reduced fees. You know, these are not those type of situations. Black women aren't going to be on anyone's streets, bruh. They already are. Go down to the courts on the days that actions happen. We already are. Not only Black women, but Black families. Like I said, I've done some incredible, even before COVID happened, because housing was a part of my platform as I held office. And the numbers are staggering with the amount of support, or lack thereof, that's given to Black women and families, especially Black women that have not, um, they haven't gone through any drug rehab program. A lot of times, women, that's a lot of people, I won't say just women, but a lot of people realize that when it comes to that type of support and those type of services, they get vouchers from, once they've gone through rehab, once they've gone through job readiness. So what happens to the women that have the college degrees and have never been on drugs and never had some trauma that they have had rehab for? Um, oh, the white women maybe holding up signs. I don't know. I don't know. I can speak on where you are, but like I said, go to court, go to court, go to court, and maybe see, because even when I was in, definitely here in Georgia, in Atlanta, in Fulton, in the cab, in Cobb. These are the counties when they're rolling out the magistrate court, when they're rolling out these evictions and these dispossessory hearings. We're in the abundance. There weren't a lot of, and there weren't a lot of resources. Um, I don't know. Isn't it said in certain neighborhoods with people of a certain pigmentation, the mindset is when it's right, it's white. Well, of course, I don't think that it's even in certain neighborhoods. I think that that just goes in general because of the fact that it's such a conditioning. And we pay 30% more to stay in neighborhoods that are not reflective of us. hmm So that's why I said, I mean, it's just very interesting. We can have these discussions. We can have this talk all day. We could. I honestly didn't just come on just to talk about that, but because I'm looking to align with other people in that mindset because of with the work that I'm doing, I don't want to be doing rent reform. I think that the entire housing situation should be reformed. So, but it comes a point in time where, like I said, my children are getting older. I'm getting older, and I have to look at what I pass on to them. So it's not in just doing this reform work, it's actually in creating opportunities and getting some property. Such as yourself, when you feel safe around people that look like you. Yeah, I do. I do. I would, but what you start going for are like I said, the amenities. But that's what I'm building, Snuggles. Like it's no joke when I say you always say I should post most content, but you would be watching it and you'll see that that's what I'm creating. I'm creating a community with families of like mind and like culture that look like me. So uh that's what I want to spend my energy doing because like I said, to have this whole situation be reformed, that is going to take probably getting back into office. That's going to take those are policies that need to be redone. That's zoning. That is you know, economical infrastructure that need to be considered. And that's not a that's not a 9 to 5 task. Okay. That I'm just saying that to say that. That is not wow. That I don't know who could have done that because we have to talk. I'm sorry. Um Tanjon, if you're still here, uh how is Mr. Telephone Man, aka the mailman, aka the basketball player that was nicknamed the mailman? My mailman, how is he? I decided to put a halt on that relationship. He didn't agree, but I just got to be very honest. There are things that I am seeking in a relationship that I've got to have present. Um, I've got to have present, and when they are not present, um, yes, she is blocked. That's what she said. She's blocked. And I can understand how to unblock her because I don't block. Like literally, I've only blocked ever one person, and y'all know who that is. And I've never blocked anybody else. Y'all, I've only blocked one person, and it's not y'all know who it is, but some of y'all, it might not be who you think it is. I've only blocked one person my whole time. Um, you said, what is not getting any older? I surely ain't getting any older. Thank you, Snuggles. You said, why am I doing this? I need therapy. I may need a lot of things, but I'm not trying to I'm not trying to fool myself into thinking that I have a solid relationship just because I have a companion. And it was getting to that point. So I had to put the brakes on it, you know. Having a companion is not the end all and be all is for me. That might be for you, just having kind of a warm body, and not to say that he wasn't. Y'all, let me tell you, he is, and he's still very supportive. He's a beautiful, he's a good looking man, nice job and all that good stuff, but it wasn't to the point where I really felt like we're in a position where we can do some solid building. I feel like he's ready, but he's not prepared. We had this discussion. I feel like he's ready, but he's not prepared. And I'm prepared, but I'm not ready. I know that may sound a little bit like especially like you said, I'm not getting any older. Which is a great line from Meet Me at Our Spot. That's me and Kojo Malik's song, huh? We're not getting old younger. That's my Willow Smith. We're not getting younger, but when I'm older, I'll be so much stronger. I'll stay up forever. Meet me at our spot. We got a vibe. All right. But yeah, definitely. I definitely understand. I'm not getting any older. I'm not getting any younger with it, but at the same time, too, like, I have a daughter who's watching, y'all. She's 14. I can't settle. I cannot do that. If this relationship is not bringing me everything it should be bringing me, and not able to give it everything I should be able to give it, I don't have no reason being in it. I don't have no business being in it. So, I won't agree with you with your statement, but I can't tell you what to do. I can only tell you what I see. Yes, you can, and you cannot influence any of my decisions because, though you have been supportive a time or two, you know, I'm not on none of your estate. You ain't on none of mine, and we aren't doing life together. So, like I said, that I appreciate your support always, as I do with everyone. I love y'all, Glow Nation, like I really honestly do. But I can't just say, okay, well, let me live my life by the way people that are not in my life see it. Y'all, I can't present and have those standards um compromised because it doesn't make sense for you. It's got to make sense for me. I'm a woman who is definitely has a vision for a few things, and um it's got to mean more to my significant other to be into that same mind than just kind of hanging out, you know. And that's what we're doing right now, y'all. I haven't been in a relationship prior to this one in 7 years. I hadn't gone on a date in 3 years prior to this. I can't just be hanging out. We have to really be making plans and moving towards those plans expeditiously, as my man crush Wednesday would say, Morgan Freeman. Y'all, y'all, it would be a sad day for me if something happens to Morgan Freeman. Y'all, when he was in that car accident a few years ago, I wasn't well. I wasn't well. He was in that car accident with his young lady girlfriend who was also kind of like a goddaughter. Weird shit going on over there. I'm so sorry to say. But Um, you know, I need to be with someone that's moving towards that expeditiously because time is not promised, and like you said, we're not getting any younger. We're not getting older. Hmm. It's not a television script. It's a web series, and we will be broadcasting next month. I'm sorry, next year, the start of next year, through my website. So, um, please make sure once again you join the channel. This is also some more exclusive content that only members will have access to. Only members only will have access to. And if somebody can figure out how to unblock Tanjon, please let me know because this does not make any sense. How I cannot figure out how to see her or unblock her. Mhm. Yes. Tell you some of my other crushes. Like I said, Morgan Freeman is definitely one, always have been. I like Delroy Lindo. Um, the guy is growing on me that was in The Harder They Fall, Jonathan Majors. Real sexy back. Real sexy back. But I don't do crushes. I like I said, when I like someone, I really take into consideration, first of all, I've dated, you know, I've had relations with celebrities in the past, and that's not something that I would see for myself. I wouldn't go after. I wouldn't plan to be in another celebrity relationship. Um, that's just me. You it, you don't know what I find attractive in Morgan Freeman. Oh, first of all, he's tall. I like tall men. Everybody knows that. But I love his voice. Sexy. I like his smile. I think he has a beautiful smile. And I think because look at our teeth, I think it's kind of like the same because his teeth kind of go in, my teeth go in. So you find things that are familiar to you appealing, and it's appealing to me. And I think he's just very intellectual. I just think I think we have great conversations, and I think we would have a good time, you know, in other aspects. But I think that we would have great conversation. I think that we would have. Hey, Queen Mercy. Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. Mhm. So please, yes, tell me, Koja Malik. Tell me, tell me how to unblock. And I'm gonna pin that. Thank you so much for saying that, Sir Anthony. I got two judges who recuse themselves, and if you know about judges, that is something they don't do. Judges don't like to be made to get off the case because they generally have to volunteer. Yep, yep, I do know that. We talk because I have something right now. Uh-huh. And you're in Florida, so we definitely have to talk. Like I said, personal matters. We have to talk. Personal rants. I'm not doing this for no YouTube views. This is real life stuff going on over here. Um, all right. So let's do this. Let's say Close Malik. My penmanship has a federal case going on right now that may impact independent contract law on the federal level. Stay in your lane. Oh, oh, what did we stumble into? What did we stumble into? Stay in your lane. Y'all still ain't told me what y'all cooking tomorrow. I've asked Naima. I've asked Cole. I've asked Snuggles. Snuggles don't cook though, as far as I know. He orders food. He orders food. He has shared with me a time or two. Um, mm, don't let this southern drawl fool you. I use it like a block. Her hair moves. That's right. That's right. Y'all, we have a few more minutes on here. Thank y'all so much. Cash apps are coming through. Thank you so much. So remember, guys, remember today and today only. If you become a member of the channel of my website, not of this channel, but of my website, which is coloredonlycafe.com, you email me proof of your membership. I will put this calendar in the mail for you. It is a calendar for the upcoming year, brand new, literally hot off presses. My first batch they give to me, my second batch I purchased. So, like I said, this will be the only time. This will be the only time where you get you get that type of um, deal, discount deal. So this is ahead of Black Friday. This is ahead of Black Friday. Okay. Um. All right. We have a few more minutes, so we'll see what we got going on and on and on. We have a few more minutes. So let's do this. I am going to drop the link because Koja Malik is one of my greatest supporters, and she said she wants to come up. So I am going to drop the link for Koja Malik. See here. Meet me at a spot. We got a vibe. Baby, I ain't down for a ride. All right, the link is dropped. Come on up. Come on up. So we're gonna be doing this link out for we're gonna do this for a few more minutes, y'all. Y'all, if you have not checked out the community tab, my channel, make sure you do. Go ahead and become a member of the website. Let me put my website link up. Cause y'all know how we do this, right? Y'all know how we do this. Yes. hmm Let me do my ticker. That is the website, y'all, and I'm gonna do a little bit of a floater at the bottom. Yay! Koja Malik is ready. Baby, are you down for the ride?
Hey,
Hello, hello.
hey, Courtney, can you hear me, girl?
I can hear you just fine.
Okay. Cooking macaroni and cheese and salad. I'm cooking a mean salad.
A mean salad, and it better be mean too. Yeah, I'm gonna make some kale. I'm thinking about making it hot, but I'm probably just gonna do. I'm not gonna do it hot. I'm just gonna do a cold kale salad. I'm preparing it tonight though, so all of the flavorings can get in there. I cannot find the top to my chopper though, and it won't operate without that top, which is very interesting.
Well,
So
I'm gonna tell you,
that's you said what?
go to the wheel, go to the Goodwill. You can find a lot of choppers there. You ain't got to get no new one.
Yeah, I surely can, but I'm not gonna be going to no Goodwill tomorrow. Like I said, I
I
just gotta
tell you,
dig through my stuff to see what I can find in there tonight. I might have to put it in the big blender, which I have a food processor. That's probably what I'll use. I'll use a food processor to chop down the onions and the garlic. Yeah,
to be
that makes
honest,
sense.
you know what I really love? It's like the little $5 or $6 one. It may be like $8 now that you get like from Dollar General or Family Dollar. It's not big and bulky to pull out, and it can cut that stuff so fine. You know how your children don't like bell pepper and onion? It cut it up so small so it disappears. And like if you're making a gravy, it kind of just melts into the gravy when you make a gravy. And the people don't even know it because kids don't like bell pepper, they don't
Yeah,
like
I have
onions and
a
stuff
small
like that.
chopper. I, Yeah, I have a small chopper. Yeah, I use it to make my curries. I have a small chopper, but that's what I'm missing the lid on because those small choppers the lid clicks in and it doesn't turn on without that click. And so I'll probably have to use And so I'm making my kale salad. So I'll probably have to use um the food processor just to chop the garlic and the
Oh, so you,
onion.
yeah. I
Yeah,
always keep an
just to
extra one,
chop it down.
especially this time of year at Brand Smart. You know about Brand Smart when they had their after Friday sale, and they used to have stuff for like $2.99, and you would buy a couple of them and throw back
Wow.
somewhere. So when you lose one, but inflation that made stuff
Child, I
not be
haven't
like
been
that.
to
So
Brand Smart in years. I haven't been to Brand Smart since getting a stove for the house that I used to live in that I was evicted from actually. And I'm
yeah,
so glad that I did not get that stove because
you
that
had to
would
get
have
rid of it.
stayed in the house. That would have had to stay in the house.
Yeah, but
Yeah, I haven't been
Brand
to
Smart
any
ain't
up here in
everywhere.
yeah, it's not. I haven't seen one up here honestly in Atlanta. Mm-mm.
Even when I
The
lived in
big
Tampa
appliance
area,
stores up here have been H Gregg. H
Brand
Gregg is
Smart
our
was
appliance
still
store.
better. Brand Smart was better, but they didn't even have them in Tampa because literally came down to South Florida and bought my televisions and took them back to Tampa because the prices were better. They just were better. But you want to know what
Yeah,
Sir
I
Anthony
remember
talking
Brand
about?
Smart having some great brands. Hmm. Oh,
But
Sir Anthony wants to know if you use your real name to call into Tone Talks.
I always use my name, what I use on YouTube, which is Koja. But it's some stuff with my thing. But see, you got these men out here that be twerking for cash apps. And see, men are they don't think. And I'm gonna break this down to him legally because you notice if he noticed and he go back to the lead attorney, he noticed the lead attorney was actually agreeing with me until I got to emotional. But I went and looked up North Carolina law. And generally, if you regardless if you're on a lease or not, if the householder, the head householder invites you to stay and you have resided there over 30 days, they cannot just put you out. They kind of have to do like a I'm not going to call it an eviction process, but something very similar because I don't want to get too technical in that. And
Hmm.
the lead attorney did a disservice to black men because what I heard was this here. The baby had another place. She said she had been there for 90 days. So
Hmm.
that is the
Yeah,
province
three
of a
months.
civil court system, not a criminal court system. And the attorney was being disingenuous because whenever the police is called, they have a duty to come out. So a police just showing up to a place is not indicative that a crime had been committed. And as you saw,
Right.
they left. Now, if afterward they got another hit, another call or more evidence, when they did that, when the police come on my property and those crime has been committed, I don't have to listen to anything they say. Let's get that straight. And
Mm.
the lead attorney was
Mm.
being disingenuous because he actually did agree. As a black man, the baby don't have no, not as a black man, as a non-married father, Danny Lee has sole custody. If she want to get up right now and go to the Dominican Republic and never let that baby return, she can. And she can have an American attorney file child support in this state. And I'm not sure if the Dominican Republic is a party to the Hague Convention, which is all of these things. But if those police officers could legally throw Danny Lee out, they would have. But it was conveyed that she had been there over 90 days. And that is probably a legal proceeding that would be the province of the civil courts and not the police. But he was being disingenuous. But I also said in that thing, the baby should have been smart and had his attorneys do it because while they playing this reality TV out in reality TV world, if DCF come to your house and they find domestic violence over a child, they can take that child. And if the police get too many calls in
Hmm.
that house, even if nothing has happened, CPS, DCF, or whatever they call themselves in that state, generally can go in and take that child. So while he was up there pussy popping for cash apps and stroking y'all men ego, making y'all feel good. He was not being responsible with the law and telling black men how to move because he should have been telling the baby, go to court, establish
Mm.
legal paternity because all children in the majority, if not all states in the United States born out of wedlock, the mother has sole custody of. And what I said to them
Come on.
while we got these bussy bopping black men twerking for black men cash apps, and being disingenuous with y'all, and the pygmies and these mules that haul for black men come up and don't tell you. What I said was, if his other two baby mamas don't have him on child support, the person who goes to court first gets the most, because when they calculate net income, it is all prior existing child support and alimony obligations that are used to calculate net income. So if he giving his other two baby mamas money on the side and it's not a legal court order, it is not calculated. It is not the oldest child who gets the most. It's who comes first. And let me give you an example. Let's say me and my baby dad had a baby. We broke up. He goes on to get married. He has two more children and then he divorces. And we had an agreement, not in court, but this is what he gave me. His wife decides to, they're divorcing. She gets child support. And he's like, oh, well, now I can't give you no money because I have this legal court order that says I have to give that. You get the leftovers, even though you were the first. So when I talk
Mm.
law, and I'm gonna tell you how much law I know. I had two judges exercise their right to remain silent. If you know about the law, judges don't recuse themselves from cases. That's like, who the fuck are you coming to tell me to get off my bench? But I had two of them do that,
Yeah.
and that was pro se.
Come on.
So you don't know what pro se mean? You better go. And I had the judge, my attorney, and my baby daddy working with plenty ex parte communication behind the scenes to handle me. And I still got custody of my baby. And I still didn't lose. So all them women that's losing custody, I'm not that bitch. I know the law. And right now, I was very instrumental in attorney shopping to bring an independent contract lawsuit that is working its way through the federal courts right now. And if taken, would impact the entire independent contract law. I don't know if you're familiar with the FedEx lawsuit, FedEx ground lawsuit case. That's why FedEx ground now have independent contractor on the side of that. I don't know if you, and this will impact all independent law in the country because it's through the federal courts. Don't know how it's go, but it was my writing
Mm.
that was
Come
able
on.
to write all of those law firms to get them to take that case.
Come on.
So while the lead attorney pussy popping over there for y'all and stroking y'all egos, it's a shame that men have to be stroking other men dicks for cash apps. He's doing y'all a disservice because he's not telling y'all how to actually proceed with the law. Now you see they do punk ass shit. They mute your mic because they can't dispute your talking points. So, Sir Anthony, I know my lane. And I had plenty of women who don't lost custody of their children. And I had plenty of women quite a few who don't came to me. So I know my lane. And no, I didn't finish paralegal school, but I did get an A in family law. And I do know when the lead attorneys begin disingenuous. If people want to have a combo, we can have a combo. Go look up North Carolina law. And as a matter of fact, I actually paid to have, those online legal things where you can get a legal answer. I actually paid and had it done. And pretty much they said the same thing what I had said. And those were attorneys that answer those questions. So you tell your bussy popping lead attorney with his muting mic self, if he want to have a convo, we can have a convo based in law.
You know what, sis? Why I love what you're saying. And I want to give a shout out to Brother Bakari. Thank you so much, Brother Bakari. And yes, we're having another Fuck That Rent rally, Renters Rights Forum on December 11th at the Beloved Community Church. Hope to see you there. I have some mac and cheese nachos in the building. Haha, yes, I will. Um, and of course, Brave. But thank you so much for just putting that out there, because what we're doing is serious. What I'm doing here is not, we ain't got no time to play with it. And just like what you said, sis, Coach Malik,
He got
and I want to get a little bit more information about this bussy popping, because I've never been on this person's channel. I know who the lead attorney
you
is.
they control the mute button. And they were talking about the Danny Lee and the baby situation, which the Danny Lee is a baby mama. She had been there. She
Yes,
called the police. They called the police, from my
yes.
understanding, maybe twice. I'm not sure
I
which time.
know all of the situation. I've been on that. The baby's debacle. The baby debacle, ridiculous. The reason why I just really
From
have
my
never understood is
understanding,
because the baby ain't never been no like hot dude to me, and I don't understand how any of these women.
child, that man about 4 inches from a little person.
Yes,
But
I've heard he
but
literally is the size of a baby.
But the thing is this here. If from my understanding she don't have a legal address that she gave up her apartment, if she had been there over 30 days or 90 days and he said that was his other place, she said she had sex with him the night before. Now, if I don't know if she had that baby in Charlotte or not, but she has a 3 month old baby, I think. If that means she has to go
Yes,
to a pediatrician, and more than
yeah.
likely, the address she registered with that pediatrician is the one she had been residing at. She had clothes in his apartment, a place in his apartment. And if, like I said, if she had been there over 30 days, if she got any text messages that he conveyed for her to come, if she have plane tickets or whatever that puts her there, if she been getting Amazon delivery there, and any of these things that people
She
normally
did
do,
have a
or
delivery. She got the Plan B delivered. The really, she got the
exactly.
Plan B
So
delivered. That was what the argument was supposedly been over,
so
because
I heard that.
yeah.
I heard that. So all of these things go to
Yeah.
established residency, but we do know that if she took a plane there, she got a plane ticket that said the date she came. If she been taking her daughter to the pediatrician, if she been getting delivery of formula and all of those things, as well as having clothing. Because if the police could have put her out that night, he would have. Because there's a difference between a trespass and being invited in. Now, if she was trespassing, the police would have evicted her and moved her immediately. But the fact that she was actually probably invited there and had been residing there, and all these details actually make a difference. So you need to tell the lead attorney to put some respect on that and come and talk about the law and not just cut somebody off. Because
Mm.
before I called him emotional, he basically had smiled and agreed with everything I had been saying. And he even agreed that he should have let the courts handle it, which is what I said, because that situation could have escalated into whatever. And if they have two or three more, somebody else will put in a call to CPT and have them go in, because it is actually a crime. It is places a child in danger to engage in domestic violence over a child. That is why if my husband beat me up or my boyfriend beat me up and I stay in the house with him, they come and take the child. Now, if I don't reside in the house, the child is no longer in imminent danger.
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
all of
Very
these
true.
things people talk about, but they ain't really talking about, because we got to get in the details, and the devil is
We
in the
need to
details
get in the
when you
details. We
slow
have to
these.
be real, and we have to be, like you said, upfront and accountable. And I totally agree. And that was the reason why, y'all probably have noticed, I do not do, I do not do those conversations. I don't do those channels where, that's all people we sit up there and want to talk about, because it is such disingenuine, just cognitive, dissonance, and the ignorance, the purposeful ignorance that goes on when we're talking about these situations. So, and I am laughing. I think you might be right. I think the baby might be taller than me, but we might be the same height. I'm not. I'm almost 5'1". I'm almost 5'1". I think we're
Mhm.
the same height. I think we're the same height.
I
But this
don't
is why
even.
I said I couldn't keep leaving myself open, because literally I'll be up at night trying to figure out something. That's why I said the only one person that is banned from my channel. Only one person, and it's not who y'all might think it is. It's totally
You can
someone
have to.
else that was just disingenuine. That just disingenuine, the blatant, um,
I think I know
just
who you're
trying to
talking
be
about. I
me.
think I know who you're talking about.
That's who I had to block. I ain't block the person that people think. No, I ain't block him. I've only blocked him from, I've only blocked him from a chat or two. I blocked him from the chat that my dad was on, because I didn't want him to be up in there just saying no disrespectful things in front of my father. And I blocked him on something else. But that person is not blocked, indefinitely. Only one person is blocked indefinitely, and that was stemming from I just, then it really blows my mind online how these men try to gang up and try to link
And I want to
up
run.
and just try to
I'm gonna
be
run down my resume.
nasty.
While they trying to call me a hood
Yeah.
rat and a this and that, I let this southern drawl be this southern drawl because I have no baby. I went to Tallahassee, and the whole reason what got it on the map when they was and Rick Scott did one thing. They had to rally and tally, and what put it on the map is that I called Senator Lee a liar and got ejected from testifying in front of Congress. But and that was that one hearing. At the end of that session, they gave me the most time to speak when they had both houses present and all of that. Because, and in addition to a letter I wrote, Florida Supreme Court justices has started them the process of making it mandatory to record all family hearings because people don't even know there is even no recording when you go into a court. So you cannot appeal a decision. You can't say what happened in a court because they do not record the hearings in family law and in most civil courts, which most people assume the person sitting next to the judge is a court reporter. No, that's the secretary passing the stuff. That has nothing to do with recording. Criminal hearings by law are mandated to be recorded. But the
Mm.
majority of civil hearings, which anything outside of criminal is civil, that is your probate courts, that is your lawsuits, that is your family hearings, all of that non-criminal stuff, the majority of it is not recorded, and it is at the discretion of the court. And the reality is the only money
Okay.
that comes through the court are the money that are paid through the civil courts. They pay the money, the fees. I think Florida has in excess of $1 billion a year in filing fees through civil courts. So why should they not be accorded the same thing when Florida Supreme Court holds that transcripts are the hallmark or appellate law? But if you go in civil cases, especially family cases, you'll hear no records available, no records were available. When tape recorders have been around for a century, and you better
Huh.
ask yourself why. But
Hmm.
I digress. But one thing I do know is that the lead attorney is being disingenuous, and he's being disingenuous, and it's gonna get men in trouble because it's not really teaching you how to move. Like I said, he should have been reinforcing that the baby should have took illegally evicted her. But see, when he legally evicted her, that's gonna come with a backlash of child support,
Right.
and they don't want to do
Right.
that, and that's why he tried to do what he did. The lady said she slept with him the night before. So how you slept with me the night before, and now you coming in the middle of the day or whatever telling me to get out? And anybody that's a mother knows that
Yeah.
you have a lot of
Yeah.
things to get together for your baby. You have formula, you have
Yeah.
shot records, you have
Yeah.
all types of things that you cannot just get together in 2 minutes and
You
leave.
can't just be like up and down, just collecting your drawers and leaving. Right. Come
And I
on.
would
Come
not,
on.
and I never advise anybody who is upset emotionally to be driving a car or going somewhere. So she should have really been upset with a 3-month-old baby trying to grab her stuff and go to a hotel. That's what should have been done.
Right.
And women are so
Right.
unaware of how many women end up homeless
And
when they on maternity leave.
yeah. And that's why I said, that's why I was saying earlier. I don't know if you called that a conversation I had earlier with Sir Anthony when we're talking about this eviction and this wave of mass evictions that are going to be rolling out. This is going to be a mass push to get black people homeless or to get them complicit even more so with the rental system that we are 70% already making up the system on. So getting more complicit means okay, we're going to be agreeing to paying even more for receiving even less, and we are not going to be trying to organize any type of efforts to improve these properties. We just gonna be glad that Massa give us anything we can get. They won't be satisfied till we back into some slave cabin quarters.
And
Okay,
this
but
hood rat over here,
that
this
part,
hood rat over here,
that part.
this hood rat been working since she was 16 years old. I have no student loan debt. I've been a nurse since I was 22, and I'm 47 right now. This hood right here bought a. This is my second place buying. I own 7.39 acres, and I'm making an organic farm. So if that's what's the resume for a hood rat, what they want to call me, ratchet and all of that, I'll wear it proudly because what they say, a little information is a dangerous thing. And these people on these YouTube streets have so little information to make such big and inaccurate conclusions. But we're gonna let them be the ignorant people they is, because I work on facts. I could get up here and cuss with you, but at the end of the day, when we want to talk about the law, I run the law with him. And he knew he was being
Run the
disingenuous.
law. Run that law, sis. And make sure you, I'm going to be wrapping up, but make sure, Coach Malik, that you drop your channel as well so that people can find you and continue to get into it because like you said, you have a lot of great content. Um, just a lot of good insight. I love talking the shop with you regarding farming. You're very intellectual. I've picked up on that a long time ago, and I really appreciate just the conversations that you're a part of, because there's no holds barred, and just like my sis Tan Johns, we got to figure it out. We really had to figure it out because just like when she is coming with that fire, it's undeniable. And these are the type of conversations I honestly like to be a part of. I don't do no rants. Like what you said, usually, I deal in facts. I don't do no rants where I'm just like talking about things that are unsupported, unfounded, unrooted,
Can you hear
and I
me,
just coming
Courtney?
off my head talking about what I know. Yeah, I can hear
Can you
you.
hear me, Courtney? Okay, because it disappeared off my screen.
Yeah, I can hear
But
you.
on YouTube goal is only for the ignorant. The only people who actually believe
Yeah.
what he said are ignorant people who don't have knowledge of the law. So those people don't really matter anyway. But he is so condescending to the actual people who listen to him because anybody with half a brain and half a little bit of knowledge knows that he was not telling the truth and he was not, but that shows how little he thinks of his audience because he know how stupid they are and how the only thing he got to do is raise his voice a little bit and say this and say how he emotional he gets. But that's very condescending because he thinks so little of his audience that he know they're a bunch of dummies. That only thing he got to do
Yeah.
is put on a show, but they
Yeah.
actually don't grasp the concept and they don't know the
Most
law.
of these, the
So
same, sis, we can really talk about it offline, like I said, because um, I don't exploit my vices. But there's definitely something I wouldn't mind, sharing with you offline, and because
I
like
should
I
you.
said, y'all, here I'm really not. I'm really not here to cause more to you. But I peep how people move. I peep how people move, and I watch them. I watch them, and I've watched sometimes when I'm having certain topics. I watch you start popping up, and then I'm like, I ain't heard from this person in a minute, but they popping up. And then they co-signing one another. This old buddy foolishness. But like you said, it goes to show that the gentleman, I believe you're speaking of, TLA, he has the lead attorney.
Hmm.
He has such little respect for. He already knows that these men, they ain't gonna look nothing up for themselves. So he's going to
No.
give them just some wrong information and tell them what they want to hear. He's gonna pander, and that's gonna be that. So the same type of men that was so mad with Derrick Jackson and so much applauding his fall from grace or what have you, these are the same men that's sitting over on probably the TLA's channel. And there's another one, I forget his name. It's like he always got some song he got in the beginning, some wax song. And if I'm not mistaken, he was an attorney too at one point. I don't know if he still is, but at any rate, these men be really ascribing to this without, they start talking about what's wrong with women, what's wrong with women. But you in
But
a room full of men talking about what's wrong with women.
this
Get
the
you one
thing.
first and foremost.
They so
Get you
stupid
one.
they don't even understand billable hours because we know the prevention of a problem gonna give you less billable hours than cleaning up a problem. But we gonna let these men sit here and talk them into some stuff because an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. But an ounce of prevention will keep you from getting all of those billable hours. See, the
Yeah.
reason I have custody of my daughter is because when all them dicks was in the room trying to tell me A, B, and C, I believe my eyes and my common sense. And I went and read and studied for myself. See, half of these men ain't gonna read the law, ain't gonna read the rules of procedure. And when their attorney tell them, I got it, I'm gonna handle it. But you don't see now damn motion, now damn what? Because the one thing you know about law is if you don't plead for it, you cannot receive it. And if your attorney ain't did a motion or his initial filing, he ain't playing for shit. You can't walk in the court and say, "Give me."
Coach Malik, I lost you. I lost you. Well, we're closing out anyway, but you all, we have a few more minutes. If you become a member of coloredonlycafe.com and send proof of your payment of your membership has its privileges. I will send you this in the mail, and you have a beautiful 2022 calendar. And that is a thank you. Like I said, these are the same calendars that are available exclusively to the cafe, to my cafe constituents, my cafe community. But you will have this email to you. And like just how I mentioned earlier, have being a member has its perks. If we have any gear that was going to be available via the website, I do content, I do product reviews, which is a part of my content also on coloredonlycafe.com. So, funny story before as we're closing out, I was talking to a I was talking to a marketing advisor today as I am finalizing some things at my campaign, as you all know. Um, as the fuck that rent for as the fuck that rent rally and the fuck that rent movement continues forward. But was talking to a marketing advisor because someone said, hey, you might want to talk to this group. They're really good at getting campaign awareness out there as we're looking to close on this property. This property is 12.5 acres. If you haven't seen it yet, please visit my channel. If you haven't seen it by now, you ain't trying to see it. But I have some footage from the village, and this footage that was just shared yesterday. This is no music, no distractions, just pure raw footage of the village where you can see the acreage. You can see, and if you have the vision, if you build it, they will come. We know this. So if you are truly interested in investing and being a part and living on sustainable land that you are contributing, that you are investing sweat equity into, that you are cultivating for the next generation and building generational wealth. If you're truly interested in doing that, please do not hesitate. Visit me physically, personally, if you can. Meet with me over Zoom. If you cannot come physically, personally, that means if you're not in the Georgia area, you can meet with me on phone or on Zoom. But absolutely, reach out to me. Reach out to me as I am 100% committing to bringing this to fruition. I'm not playing games over here. Not one more eviction will I ever face, and not one more month. I'm not looking for another opportunity to pay no rent. I'm not. I'm not. And if you also are not, let's do this. Let's do this. Until next time, though, y'all know what to do. You better, you better, you better, you better glow.